I would imagine this is what a newborn child feels like in their first moments. You know, just complete wonderment and just awe for everything. The smells, the sights, the feeling of it all. Once all of the sort of feelings behind being in there sort of washed away, the nervousness, the anxiety, the curiosity, once that all washed away, it was just stillness. It was just peace. You know, a deep stillness like I've never felt before, but it felt so familiar. You know, like that was a part of me all along. You know, like I've known it for so long. It was immovable. It's not something that you can escape, right? Nor something I wanted to escape. You know, it was like there was this softness and warmth to just being in myself, with the eternity of the darkness. It was really comforting. For the most part, it was very comforting, and you know, just kind of sitting with it and letting it wash over me constantly, and being in wonderment of the experience of resting in it was so unique. It was so special, and knowing that that's always a part of us and always will be, you know, is really special. When certain waves of emotion come through me, depending on which emotion and feeling, right, I tend to grasp for certain aspects of external reality, right, stimulation. And I didn't realize that, right? Like, we move about life so quickly, and sometimes without stepping back and taking a deep breath. We analyze, we compartmentalize so much that we don't realize that we're not actually feeling and letting our body sort of do its job. You know, alchemize the wave of emotion that comes through. Not even just alchemize it, but just sitting with it. We don't take the time. You know, that's something that really dawned on me. It's like, you know, it's like what we talked about. It's the why. It's the why we do things. It's the why I do things that I discovered that we've been missing. It's like there are these subtle, like, divine moments that we skip over because we're moving so quickly. You know, they're so subtle that you will not notice them as you rush about your day. And the darkness allows you to feel those subtle whys, you know, like, oh man, like, why do I want to get up right now? Is it serving, what is it serving, you know? Or why do I want to do this? What is it serving, you know? So, yeah, that's, and the other thing too is I've recognized that it, you know, it's very cliche, but it's all going to be okay. You know, it's like all of these emotions that come through, that maybe it's anguish, maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's stress, maybe it's fear, maybe it's elation, right? But we're gonna be okay. It's hard to articulate, but there's just this subtle knowing, like deep in my being, deep, 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 like not something that you can touch, not something that can be brought out. There's just this deep, calm, and still piece of me that just knew that letting these things pass through me, these emotions, these feelings, these waves, these movements, that my body was always going to be in perfect response to it, and that I didn't need to logic it out. Like, I didn't need to compartmentalize it. I didn't need to understand it on a intellectual level. Didn't need to do anything. Oh man, it's so illuminating. I didn't need to do anything at all. Yeah, so beautiful. Yeah, and realizing that it's always there without trying, without looking for it, you know? Yeah, it's the greatest mystery, but it's the simplest one, you know? It's what I think we all long for, but we already have. That's so funny. You know, I have this sort of aliveness, but it's not this energetic, frenetic aliveness. It's this this deep safety inside of me that I don't need to improve, that I don't need to be a better anything. Like, I already am. I already am what I need. And I think that bleeds into everything, right? And just sitting here, right? Just observing, right? Having moments to just breathe and take it all in. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter how you are. To just have that awareness, that presence, to just take it all in. Because I thought there was always something more, you know? A greater substance, a greater thing, a greater aspect of life. You know, and I'd touched those moments, touched moments of what I had just described, sort of that presence and that awareness. But there was always then this clamoring to get back there, and thinking it was gone, thinking it was ephemeral, thinking that it was fleeting. You know, moments are fleeting, and but you'll always remain. That essence will always remain, you know? So yeah, I think it was just the thought that there was always something more. There's always something greater. That something greater is already inside. That there's no seeking that needs to be done.